Three, two, one. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Nine Hole Podcast. This is your host, Ian Miller. I am joined today by one of my former teammates in college. He's now in the coaching game, ex-Major League Baseball player for the Royals, Nick Dini. Nick, what's going on, brother?
What's happening, Mildew? Thanks for having me on, brother. I'm pumped up to talk some ball, everything baseball. So let's get right into it.
I love it, dude. Everything's good, man. Obviously, like the baseball season is underway, bro. So I just wanted to highlight some shit that we will be hitting on, that we will be touching on. Obviously, this is the Nine Hole Podcast where we provide info and insight to the next generation of nine hole hitters, dude. Obviously, your story is fire. Your story's nuts. You kind of had that underdog mentality. You've gone against like the current in your baseball career, right? Questions about your size, questions about coming from the Northeast, dude. I went through it, man. So it's awesome to have you here. Talk about your journey and your story a little bit. And then I'd like to segue that and just intertwine that the whole way of shit that you've learned along the way, and maybe like how these kids, how the next generation of baseball players, the next generation of student athletes can take from what you've learned and implement it into their process, bro. So I'm fired up to get into it. Dude, like we were teammates at Wagner. So I got drafted in 2013. You got drafted in 2015, right? So we were teammates for 1 year. I was a junior. I think you were a freshman, correct? Dude, what was the overall like grind at Wagner, man? But what were the obstacles that you've had to overcome being at Wagner, and basically having to prove it to get to the show?
Yeah, good question. So for me, man, it was like I come from a town in New Jersey, like cold weather town, so it wasn't too far like down the road to Wagner. And it really, the grind was the same. You know what I mean? Like when you're a high school kid and you want to get to the next level, it's like you're doing whatever the hell it is that you have to do to get a leg up. You know what I mean? Whether that meant, hey, my dad's not home or my mom's not home to drive me anywhere. Like I'm going to get in the backyard and do some, I'm not head off the tee. I'm going to go get a buddy and we're going to go down to the field in 35-degree weather. Whatever it took, man. Like I was always like itching for that like fix to be better. Like I've had that since I could remember, man. Like early on, I played 3 sports. As I got to high school, I started to strictly focus on baseball, and like segueing that into my college experience, it was like, small school Wagner. There wasn't indoor hitting facilities. There was, like you kind of had to, like go out and find those opportunities to get better. And as you know, because I was part of it with you, man, like you kind of set the standard for, what it was to work your ass off and make sure that you are prepared for whatever the hell it is to come at that level. And coming in as a freshman, like you thought you worked hard in high school, but then you see guys like-minded guys at the next level. And it's like, holy shit, like you think you work hard, dude. Like you better keep up or you're going to fall behind. So for me, like having you there as that crutch was really, really beneficial. And I cherished every moment that I was able to like sit there under and like just watch the way you went about your business. And that kind of like gave me the roadmap to like, all right, this is what I got to do. Like, dude, I don't give a shit that it's 25 degrees and we have to go call a security guard to go unlock the lower field so we can go get some swings in, because we don't have any practice or we have nothing going on. Like it didn't matter. Like whatever the hell it was that we needed to do, going onto the football turf, like in between a freaking lacrosse practice and a football practice and airing it out and doing speed work. And like, there was just any way to get better. Like I took advantage of those opportunities, and it kind of just set, the path for me as I transitioned into pro ball, because that was my mindset. It was like, dude, you have to outwork other people. Like you are not a physically like freakish athlete to where you could just skate by doing the bare minimum. Like you had to invest your time into that. You had to do shit that others weren't doing, or do it at a level that was a little bit, beyond the norm for somebody else. And I understood that early on. And that I'm bouncing all over the place, but even going back to high school, man, there were guys that I felt like I produced more than, but they were, the 6'2" freakish athletes that were going to these big time schools. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, yo, what the hell do I got to do? And then there comes a moment where you're like, is this even obtainable? Right.
Sure.
And going to Wagner, honestly, for me was the best thing that could have happened to me. Like I tore my UCL right before my junior year of high school, which is a freaking huge year in the recruiting process. So essentially I'm trying to get to college as a 5'7" designated hitter. And that's not the recipe to go to those big schools that you want to. So it's like, you're against the 8 ball and, you figure out a way. And luckily enough, I was able to like catch on at Wagner. And I tell kids this all the time now, man. It's like, for me, that was the best thing that happened to me because I played baseball. I didn't go to one of these big schools and get buried. And for 2 years, I'm not playing and gaining that experience. Like I got 220 at bats for 4 years. You know what I mean? Next thing you know, you look up, I got 1,000 at bats under my belt at the collegiate level going into professional baseball with dudes that, freakish athletes at these big time schools. Maybe they got 300 at bats or, 500 at bats. Like I've doubled that experience. And that I feel like kind of gave me a leg up early in my professional career. And then as I kept going, obviously it's like, you just got to continue to evolve and continue to grow. So like, as far as the high school into college, it was just trying to do whatever the hell whatever I could with whatever resources that I had, just finding a way. And, it worked out. So
love it. I love that, dude.
A lot of great.
100%, bro. I everything that you're saying, I'm thinking about it now, thinking about our career at Wagner, and I'm thinking back, I'm like, dude, I got my years mixed up. Yeah, you played 4 at Wagner.
Yes. So we were together 2 years.
Yeah, I'm an idiot, bro. It seems like it's 30 years ago. It seems like it's 30 years ago, bro. Dude, so everything that you're saying about the career at Wagner, having to kind of like go and create the hard work, go and create the opportunities. You're not handed anything, dude. I feel like that was instrumental to my success as well. I had to be a fucking grinder, for lack of a better term. Like I needed to get in the gym. Remember we had the running, right? We'd have to do like the running tests in winter.
Oh yeah.
Like, we're running 25, 30 laps, timed around a square. Just getting your ass kicked, hitting inside. Like, dude, I get it. I think having to go down to the lower field, right? We have a hitting facility off campus, right? Everything was off campus. So we had to go grind to get it, dude. I think that definitely like taught me the value of hard work, man. Kind of those little difficulties, dude. Having to always like prove yourself, bro. At least it was a recipe for success for me, especially at the next level, dude.
Well, 100%, because, like for us, right? It's like you go from college and then you find yourself in rookie ball. And it's like these guys that, were, for lack of a better, they're privileged to be able to have these like facilities at these big time schools where like you go to rookie ball and it's like you're in clubhouses that have, 2 showers and the water's up to your friggin' ankles by the time like everybody's done showering, and you got a single cage where the nets are falling off, or sometimes you're not taking BP, you're hitting into a damn net. And it's like, you start to hear the bitching and complaining from some other people. And for me, I'm like, dude, I'm fucking used to this. Like this ain't
and
nothing. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I mean. Like for me, it was like I was just so friggin' thrilled to be there. And like whatever conditions it was, like, I didn't give a shit. Like that didn't matter to me. It was like, yo, I got an opportunity to go play baseball right now where, all my buddies that I went to school with are, putting on the tie, going to work. And, they would tell me, man, like, you're play ball. That's sick. And, you just keep doing what you're doing. And it's like, I always felt honored to be able to do that. And I think that was something that kind of kept me going, like even through hard times or difficult times or shitty situations and whatnot. Like I always felt like, man, I am able to say like I'm playing professional baseball. And like I always felt like gratitude towards that. And that's how I kind of approach every day, man. So
Definitely.
you just try to send that message to everybody. It's a little more difficult now with, kids, and it's just it's a little bit different nowadays with, the amount of baseball that kids are playing and like these like awesome facilities that are opening. You get a little bit like,
Complacent? Is complacent the word? Right?
That's a good, I would say, yeah.
They're not
Again, I'll
grateful.
use privilege. Like the circumstances around everything need to be a certain way for you to, get the work in, or to like take that opportunity, whatever, like like that opportunity to get better.
100%.
It feels like the circumstances have to be like perfectly in line.
Yeah. Okay.
Where,
Yeah. The stars need to align in order to like get out there.
yeah. Yep.
I get exactly what you're saying, bro. So like you going into Wagner College, right? Being a 5'7" DH at the time, right? Just kind of went through the UCL stuff, man. Like you have some shit to prove, bro. So like that, having the chip on your shoulder early, right? Had to have probably paid extreme dividends throughout the entirety of your career, bro. Because I feel like, at least being from the Northeast, dude, you get an automatic bad rep. Yeah, there's questions about you and how can you perform against ACC, SEC, fucking Pac-12 dudes, and
Yep.
then you go out of the draft, right? Regardless of where you go, but it's like, oh, he's a Northeast baseball player, right? That's automatically
Yeah.
like, dude, the off seasons are insanely important, but because we're in the Northeast, it's cold as fuck for 6 months, and then six months out of the year you get to be on the field, man. So like, were you able to kind of play with that chip on your shoulder throughout the entirety of your career, man? And how were you able to do it, man? Was that a mindset thing?
Yeah, 100%. Like it has to be, right? Like, so, and that's like, I'm kind of jumping all over because I have a lot to say about it now that I've entered like the coaching side of it and like the development side of things. It's like when we played, bro, the NCAA was a lot, like it was set up a lot differently. Like there were no fucking transfer portals and NLIs and all this other shit where like if you weren't playing or you felt like slighted in a certain way or you had to go out there and like earn something, like you didn't have that escape. Where now it's like it feels like if there's a little bit of adversity that kids have to go through, it's like, you know what? I'm not going to face that head on. I'm just going to get the fuck out of Dodge and I'm going to go find another opportunity somewhere where I'm going to play. So you don't learn to like use that negativity or the shit that people say about you and turn that into kind of like fuel to the fire, right? Like, hey, like, fuck you. I'm going to go prove this. I'm going to go do this. So for me, it was always that way. Like I was always undersized, and that was from when I was like young, right? And then now you take into account like I can't fucking throw the ball, so now it's like, yo, this kid's a 5'7" DH that he's putting up numbers in high school, but how does that really translate, right? Like for me, I wanted to play at Rutgers. Like I was like, I want to play. This is it's a school close to here. Like my family could come watch me play. It's at the time it was a Big East school. Now it's a Big Ten school, but that's where I wanted to go. And I saw all these other guys in the area like getting recruited by Rutgers. And it's like, yo, I'm putting up numbers that are better than these dudes. Like, why the hell am I not getting? And that kind of fueled it, right? And then I get a scholarship to go play at Wagner. And it was like, dude, I'm fired up about the opportunity. I'm like, I don't like at that point, like the thought of going to one of those big schools, like just I don't give a shit, man. Like I get to say I'm playing Division I baseball, and I'm gonna go into a school and I'm gonna fucking like earn my supper.
Yeah,
and
make
that's
an
what
impact early too, bro.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. And it was an opportunity for me to play and worked my ass off. Thanks to like I said, thanks to guys like you and guys that had the same vision, right? Like you want to surround yourself with people that share the same goal and vision for what they want their life to look like. And I knew from like the moment I stepped on campus, even before that, like, dude, I want to get drafted. Like that, I'm here to play baseball. Like I probably shouldn't say this, but for me, it was always school is second. Like like it's baseball. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know it. I know it. We had classes together and we kind of did, we did what we did, but like that's how I approach things. And it was always like fine. Like I just always had an appetite for evolving and getting better. You know what I mean? Like for instance, bro, like I watched you in college, right? And you were speedy center fielder. Like I was at the time when I came in, I was a second base middle infielder. But like watching you run, right? So it was like, oh, Miller's going to do some speed work. It's like, yo, I'm tagging along. I want to get faster. Like I probably had a ceiling to how fast you know what I mean, to how fast I could be. But it was like, I'm hungry to get better. And there's like somebody with the same vision and the same goals, you know, going out to the turf at 7:30 at night to go run sprints and do speed work. It's like, I'm there. You know what I mean? Like,
100%.
oh, I'm going at the lower field, like before classes at 8 a.m. It's like, yo, I'm there. You know what I mean? Like, and like any opportunity that there was to get better. And it almost made you like, it almost created this like grittiness in you that it wasn't so accessible, right? Like you had to like actively go look for those opportunities.
Yeah, dude.
We didn't have a field house where it's like, yo, like it's easy to wake up in the middle of winter, like go into a heated batting cage that's beautiful with machines and shit. Like, dude, like call it what it is. The lower field, like in the middle of winter, cages are falling apart. There's leaves all over the place. Like there's holes in the damn L screen. And it's like, that didn't matter. You know what I mean? So like,
dude,
like even that created some grittiness too. You know what I'm saying? Like actively seeking, because, you know, you had to like, hey, the basketball team is not practicing at this time. Like you can get in the gym and drop the cage for like a half an hour. You know what I'm saying? Like who the fuck has to do that? You know what I mean? Or who wants to do that?
It's obstacle.
You know, it's like, well, exactly. And like that mindset to go and like find the opportunities, like that made it better. Like that made you want it more.
100%,
you know what I mean?
Dude. It made it sweeter too when you got it, probably. Like being 100%. Able to just being able to like accomplish the shit. You get drafted, you're able to look back and you're like, okay, dude, I literally put baseball first. I put baseball in front of like partying. I put baseball in like I'm not saying we didn't have lives, right? When Saturday night came around and we have an off day the next day, but like I vividly remember like I'll roll to the lower field 8-9 a.m., right? Even if I'm hungover or I throw up. But like it's an off day. I'm showing up and I'm getting after it, bro. You know what I mean? Like shit like that. It just made it even more sweet and like I don't know. You're grateful whenever you're able to kind of pull some shit off like that, dude. You know what I mean?
100%. And that's another thing too, man. It was like, and like I said, like, did we enjoy college as college students when like the time presented itself? Absolutely. But I can truthfully say, like, yo, if I wanted to go out and, you know, run amok the night before, like I made sure my ass was up and like getting work in the next day. Like it didn't make, like, I didn't turn into a slug all day because it's like, oh, you know what I mean? I partied last night, so I'm going to check out today. It's like, no, fuck that.
It's like, how do I put my scheduling in my life around baseball, right? How am I fitting that?
Exactly.
Dude, that's it.
Yes, exactly. It's like, oh, I could do this and then I'll just do this tomorrow. And it's like, all right, we're right back. Where it's like that's how you thought, right? Like everything was around like baseball and
100%,
getting better. That was in my like opinion, that was like, that sums up Wagner College. And it truly made me who I am, because like I said, if it was as accessible and as easy, like, I don't know if I would have enjoyed, like, looking back now, would I have enjoyed it in the moment to be in like one of those like nicely heated batting cages where we could just sit in there for hours? Yeah. Hell yeah. But like looking back on it, it's like, it does make it much sweeter to know like, yo, I was willing to do those things. And then it kind of checks out to where I'm able to sit here today. Like, we're able to sit here today, have this conversation as ex-major league players. Damn, you know what I mean? Brother. From small school.
Damn straight, brother. Damn straight, dude. So like, talking about getting to that small school, I know you know you had ideas, you had dreams of playing for Rutgers, man. Now being out of the game, I'm gonna kind of like jump around here, but me too. I have shit that I'm excited to talk about, dude. So like, now that you're kind of coaching, you're in the next phase of baseball, you're giving back to like the next generation of student athletes, baseball players, working with them. the recruiting process, man. Shit that you've seen and stuff that's worked for you. Like, how did you get to Wagner? How did you get seen? How would you recommend these kids get seen? How would these high school kids maybe stand out in that whole process? Like, and what worked for you, dude?
You know, it's fucking weird now, man, because like when I was younger, like, and you know, you too, man, you played multiple sports where now you see kids from a younger age, like really specializing in a sport, like extremely early. And you hear about all these kids like, oh, they're committed to X school as a freshman. And it's like, can you even do that? Like I'm sitting there asking the question, like, is that like, I thought you had to, there was a certain point during your junior year where it's like, okay, I can officially sign a letter of intent. And it's like, oh yeah, well, I verbaled here. And it's like, okay, well, like what the hell does that mean?
Yeah.
Like, is that just like, you know what I mean? So it's like, and now it's like kids are going to all these showcases and parents are, you know, they're putting a lot of money into getting their kids out there. And for me, it was like, dude, I went to showcases. I'm not going to lie. I actually blew my fucking elbow out at one of those showcases. So it was like, that did nothing for me. I think at the end of the day, man, if you produce and you put up numbers, like people hear about you. You know what I mean? Now you have all these like platforms that kids can load videos to and send them out to college. So it's a lot more accessible to get in touch with these colleges and get through to them. Where like when I was in that stage, it was, dude, you just had to go play, put up numbers, like go to these tournaments, and like hopefully you do something that stands out to somebody and they're pique an interest. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't sending videos to colleges. I wasn't, you know, actively, you know, reaching out to colleges at that time. It was just like, yo, I went and played, and like the chips fell where they may. And it, for me, it ended up at Wagner College, and it was, you know, there wasn't really much nuance to my recruiting process. You know what I mean? Like I said, I probably did 2 showcases in the area. I wasn't like going to all these different places, and you know what I mean? So
yeah, for sure.
I can't really talk to like my experience in it. I don't think resonates with today, just because it's so different today. Like so different.
You can get out
And
there
it's
with a
sad.
click of a button.
That's what I'm saying. Like hey, I had a friggin' sick game today. You know what? Like I just like went backdoor homer. Like, let me send this to friggin' every ACC school, see if I get any bites. Like, I would do it. You know what I mean? Like, why the hell not? What do you have to lose? Like, put yourself out there. Where when I was doing it, there just wasn't a thing.
100%.
So it was just friggin' play baseball and do well, and hopefully the right person sees you and find like you pique their interest, and then it works out. You know what I mean? Like, so it's different. It's just different.
Play baseball and do well, man. That seems like that's the recipe for success. Just play baseball, play your game, like do well. Just don't be a dick. Like I just, that's awesome advice to live by, bro. It's awesome advice.
You know, like it's extremely simple, and I wish I had something better for you, but like that's my path. Like it was just like, hey, you got an opportunity to go play today, do your friggin' best, like play hard, and hopefully something good happens for you. You know what I mean? Like that's how it worked for me. So I can't really, and also, dude, at that time for me, I really couldn't afford to be like super picky, right? Like, cause like I said, I'm coming off a Tommy John surgery, and a Division I school is interested in me, even under those circumstances. It's like, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna be like, you know what? No thanks. Like, too small for me. Like, I'm gonna go somewhere. Like, no, I'm not gonna do that. Like, dude, you got an opportunity to play. You got an opportunity to play. You're
100%.
gonna go play Division I baseball and go make the most of it. And that's how I attacked it.
Dude, so now that you're kind of working, you know, in the next phase of baseball, right? Where you're giving back your time, your expertise, you know, just everything, building the next generation up, dude. Like being a parent now too, yourself, what kind of advice could you give to the parents? Like, how should they go about this? Say if a kid is is a decent baseball player, or he has aspirations of playing baseball like at the next level, whatever that next level is. And
Yeah.
the parents would love their kids to follow in our path. They're like, oh, they were a D1 baseball player. You grinded through the minor leagues. You accomplished your one true dream, right? Regardless of what that might look like, everybody's path's going to be different. Like, what kind of advice would you give to the parents on how to like handle this, how to go about it, man? Like, what don't they know?
So I'm going to start there's a couple layers to this question, and it's a really, really good question in my opinion. And I think and I'm talking from a youth standpoint, right? Like from a young age, like I think it's important, from the coaching, viewpoint, like for me, it's like, and I'm talking like 10, 11, 12-year-olds, like even before middle school, it's like the premise of what you do needs to be to create an environment for the kid that they are just thinking about having fun. Like in my opinion, if you start like breaking down a 9-year-old or a 10-year-old's friggin' hitting mechanics and like giving him these like, really detailed things that you want him to do in his swing, it's like, yo, this kid is not going to like baseball by the time he's a freshman in high school. Like they're not fun. You know what I mean? Like you need to create an environment where they have fun, because now once kids have fun doing it and showing up like, hey, I'm going to go hit with Nick today. It's like, I'm excited to do it because I know I'm going to have fun. And then what you start to see is kids really invest into their own development process. So now the parents' hands are kind of off. Now it's just like, okay, like you're going to hit with Nick. Like, you're like, this is what you got on the schedule for this week. Like, that's what it is. Where if you have a parent that is like extremely pushy towards that kid, and it's all about like, hey, I got to get him on all these travel teams and make sure he's in these tournaments and he's going to see X, Y, and Z every weekend. It's like, dude, by the time that kid turns 14, 15, 16 years old, he's going to be like, there's no fun in that process. So he's not really invested into his own development. Like, you've kind of pushed him in this direction. And now it's like, there's a resentment towards the parent, you know what I mean? Because like, and I've seen it plenty, man, where there's like really talented players, but like the expectation from a really young age is just like way too high. Like, instead of like, just go have fun, you know what I mean? Like, and it's a little bit different now too, in the sense that like when I was younger, like I got off the school bus and I got, 10, 12 like kids around my age on my block, and like I'm outside and I'm playing wiffle ball, or I'm playing football or street hockey, and I'm moving and I'm, like developing this athleticism just based on the innocence of being a kid. Where like today, you don't see that. Like, you drive by you drive like down a street, and it's like there might be a kid out there shooting hoops or doing something like that. Part of it is just gone. So now kids are just, and it's a really fine line, because as a parent, like what is there to do? Like, I don't want my kid to fall into that pattern of, okay, come home and I'm playing PlayStation or Xbox, or I'm on my phone or TikToking or whatever the hell it is that kids are doing. Or do I go take them to the batting cage and kind of like force them into this like activity that I need them to do, right? To keep them active and doing something productive. So it's a fine line. And that's why for me, it's a little bit hard, because we didn't deal with that. Like, we were outside doing, we were playing these different sports in the street, not even organized, man. But like all that stuff kind of, lends itself, like you're developing as an athlete just on the premise of, hey, I'm having fun with my friends outside. Like, I have to force me to get inside. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was constantly on the move. So like in the youth space, it's a little bit different today. And it's just like, you hope that by the time they get to a point where like baseball can really go somewhere for them, they're not at a point where they're like burnt out or become like a chore for them. You know what I mean? So I think create an environment of fun. It allows the kid to want to develop themselves, and the parents don't have to worry about it. You know what I'm saying? They just try to, you try to do everything you can for them and award them those opportunities to like develop and experience that development process. And that would be my advice, is just kind of like let the intention be fun early, so that when they get to an age where they really realize, okay, like I want to do this, they're going to actively seek it and want to do it themselves. They're not going to rely on mom and dad to push them to like go to the gym or go hit or do the things that it takes to play at the next level. Sure. So being able to do that as a coach is like really something I like. That's my mindset when I attack the younger generation. And then at the high school generation, you know, like you can tell, you know, how committed a kid is. And then that kind of sets the landscape for you as like somebody that they trust to develop them, to kind of set them on that path, right? Like I had a kid one time and it was like, you know, he was like, man, if I don't make JV, I'm going to be really pissed. And it's like, so I sat there and I'm asking him, right? Like he was a freshman. I'm like, all right, well, what are you doing to ensure that you play JV? And he's like, well, what do you mean? I'm like, how many hours of sleep do you get a night? 5, 6. How many days a week do you work out? 2. How many days a week do you hit? 2. What's your diet like? It's okay. I'm like, well, dude, like when you sit back and you ask yourself, like you set this expectation for yourself. Now take a step back and think, are you doing everything you can to accomplish that? Or are you just saying like, do you feel that I should just be playing JV as a freshman? So
the actions
that's
aren't
where
aligning.
I should be. You know what I'm saying? Like it starts to like make sense. It's like, whoa, wait, mate. I'm not really checking the boxes of the things that it takes to accomplish that goal. You know what I'm saying? So like, just 100%. Understand, like, I don't think there's a real understanding of what it takes, right? It's like everybody says these things, they set these expectations and goals for themselves, but it's like, what are you doing to make sure that they're accomplished?
I love that. I love that. Are you taking the necessary actions, right?
Exactly.
To make all the shit align, kind of what you want to do, man. So that kind of leads into, you touched on a whole bunch of how that relationship can get tarnished a little bit, right? And you know, there's resentment maybe created if it's too much of a stressful environment, if it's not fun. But you were also hitting on the development piece of that, dude. So like, obviously, with what you've experienced through your grind to the major leagues, we'll touch on the big leagues here, how that was for you in a little bit. Dude, like the development piece. So your off-season work, you're fucking getting after it, regardless of if you're in high school or you're in college or you're in pro ball. Like you are getting after it and you're building the foundation on the shit that you need to get after and implement and kind of fine-tune and tweak and develop in the off-season, dude. How important was being able to like keep going with that during the season? And like, what are you seeing today with kids that are building like the foundations and the building blocks behind the scenes of maybe a motion or a swing, and then not being able to like have that translate throughout the whole season?
Yeah, really good question. And what I've noticed in my, like, dude, you know, right? So like the approach that I always took, and I'm sure you can touch on this because your work ethic is like second to none, but it's like, when you're in an off season, right? Like I always approached every off season where I would come home after a season, right? And I would take probably 2 weeks to just myself to kind of digest, to kind of, you know what I mean? Like it's a grind it's an 8-month grind that you just like mentally, physically, you're drained. So I take 2 weeks. And in that, probably in that second week, I start thinking really like taking a look back at that prior season. And it's like, okay, well, what do I need to do better? Right. So my off season would be tailored around that. So it's like, hey, I really struggled with hitting fastballs and velocity at the top of the zone. So you know what? Like a lot of stuff that I'm going to tailor my off season approach to is being able to like fill that hole that I have that pitchers can just constantly attack. Right. I didn't really receive the ball well at the bottom of the zone. So I'm going to make sure that my work is tailored towards like dominating the bottom of the zone. Right. So you go through your off season and you, whatever, you know, drills or, you know, whatever your work looks like to accomplish, you know, filling those holes and like making those parts of your game a little more fine tuned. Now you get into the season. Right. And then the season starts, and what you realize is now another problem has occurred. It's a constant like evolution of shit that just like isn't right. Then you're always trying to fine tune something. And the moment that you think, fuck, I got this figured out, you are fucked.
Mm-hmm.
You are
Bad news.
fucked. And that's what I don't think enough people really understand, is because I see kids put in these like really good off seasons, and then they get into their high school season, and it's like there's some struggles that come with that. And it's like, even throughout a season, right, Mills, like you would get done with a game, right, and it's like, hey, I went 0 for 4 last night, like I got fucking abused on the inner half of the plate, right? Like chances are you're going to go into your work, like your early work or your dailies the next day, and be like, man, like, hey, I got to work on like getting to this pitch, like, because you know, in baseball, especially at the professional level, like you're going to see those guys, like early in our careers, it was a 3-4 game set. So you got 3 more games against these dudes. Then later on in our career, it was, you got these guys for a week. Now, if that guy on Tuesday just abused you on the inner half, you better believe in that pitcher's meeting before the game, it's like, hey, Miller, feed him fastballs in, prove he could do something with it. So you took like the failures that you had the night before, and now you're tailoring your pregame work to, hey, I need to be able to counter, right? So, and that is the like daily like evolution of continuing to be better and continuing to develop, right? And then like you kind of just keep, and it's like this never ending thing. So now you go back to, I'm kind of bouncing all over the place, dude.
I know exactly what you're saying.
So it's like, now you take that high school kid that, you know, he came in the offseason, he's got a great plan, he knows what he needs to do to get better, right? And then you see him for 4 months, and you're nailing this stuff, and you go into it, and he feels great, right? Now you get into high school practices. High school practices really do not touch on your individual skill set at all, right? You're spending an hour a day worrying about the bunt and executing a wheel play that you're going to run once or twice a year. Like, that's the premise of a high school practice. You're not having individual work. You're not in the cage getting 50 to 75 swings a day. You're getting 4 rounds of 5 swings. And if you think that is like sufficient enough to continue to get better and build off of what you've done in an off season, you're fooling yourself. Like, that's just not realistic. So the problem I see is that these kids, they put this great, like, they build this really good foundation in the winter, and then in the spring when it's go time and it's like, hey, this is where it fucking counts, they're wondering why there's some failures, and why you, like, I say all the time, like, one of my favorite sayings is like, dude, you're going to get a lot worse before you get a little bit better in this game. So when you don't address those flaws, or in your swing, or in the way you're receiving the ball, or how you're attacking a ground ball, or your reads in the outfield, whatever it is, if you're not consistently feeding into that and developing it on a daily basis, you're going to realize how quickly that work just is like, where the hell did that go? Where does that feeling that I felt 2 months ago? Because I can't feel it no more. You know what I mean? Now it's like, how do I get back there? And then next thing you know, it opens up a hole somewhere else. And it's like, just continuing to, like, realizing, like, the practice plans in a high school setting are not really tailored to you as the individual. It's about accomplishing a team goal. You know what I mean? And we're doing stuff and the coach doesn't look like he's unprepared, or guys don't know where they're going on a double cut or a relay, or what, you know what I mean? Whatever it may be. But like, that's mostly what those practices consist of. So like, you're just not getting the volume that you need to continue to develop after a really good offseason that you've had.
For
you know
sure.
what I mean?
For sure.
So,
and then, dude,
that's what I've noticed.
Dude. So it's not really, it's all team stuff, right? In high school, especially practices, everything's team oriented. Same with college, right? The ability that a college coach can feed his family is based off of wins and losses, right? That coach is not going to stick around, right? So it's got to be team oriented. It's got to be what's best for the team. So you need to make sure you are getting your shit in behind the scenes, and you are being consistent in season and in the off season, dude. But then you get to Pro Bowl, And then it's not about winning because it's about development, right? To get to the major leagues to win. So it's like it fucking turned. It's just all turned on
It's
its
really
head.
weird. And dude, I think that for me, that was a real like shock, right? Like when I got to pro ball, it was like, holy shit, like why is he doing this? Why is he putting this guy here in this situation? Like that makes no sense. It's like, oh well, dude, we don't care about wins and losses. It's like, how can we get this guy ready to cut outs at Kauffman Stadium?
Yeah.
Or how can we get this guy ready, to hit major league pitching? Like that's what professional baseball is all about. It's all about development. Like winning is a far, 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 far second. I don't even know if I would say it's second. It's development, and then it's develop more, and then it's like, okay, if we win, cool. But I don't really give a shit. Like that coach's job's not on the line based off wins and losses, right? So that was a huge, huge shock to the system when I saw how that was. And dude, how it's like, especially for somebody that's a team, like you kind of like you're when you're a team guy in college and you really do care about winning in college. You know what I mean? Like I want to win for this school. I want to win for my coach. I want to win for my teammates. Like, and then you get to pro ball and it's like, dude, nobody cares about winning.
100%. And then you get to the big leagues and the only thing that matters
is winning.
It's fucking nuts, bro. It's
crazy.
And being a catcher too, dude.
Yes,
that's got to be
crazy,
absurd. Before we even get into that, bro, did you have a cool like call-up story? Did you have one of these stories that like I've had people on here that have had like mind-blowing stories, dude. Mine was nothing. I had gotten traded over like to the Twins. I was there for a month. And then September rolls around, and I didn't have a relationship with the coach. I just was rented by him for 30 days, and he just shook my hand and said, "You've never been to the show before, right? You're going up." And that was it. And like, it really wasn't that sick, dude. So obviously, you came up, you got drafted by the Royals. Like, did you have a sick story or what?
I wouldn't say it was sick because, like, at the end of the day, too, man, like, what you notice is like these like prospects and these guys that like they're really anticipating and like kind of awaiting their arrival, they got these really cool call-up stories. And I've been in clubhouses where you've seen those top prospects get called up, and it's like really freaking cool how they do it. For me, it was like, I get to the ballpark in Omaha, and I had read something that I got a text from one of my buddies like, hey, like Gallagher, who was in the big league catcher with Kansas City for a long time, he just like hurt his oblique during batting practice. And I knew at that point, like, man, I was the next guy. So I was kind of like anticipating it, but I wasn't getting too excited because like, dude, like shit happens all the time. They're scouring the waiver wire and they pick up this guy who's friggin' 230 in AAA, but he has major league experience. So it's like, you know what, we're going to go there. So I thought maybe, but I was like, I wasn't getting my hopes up. And, the manager like calls me into the office. He's like, hey, we're making a lineup change. And like, by that point I was like, all right, like I'm going up there. He's like, you're going to meet the team in Detroit tomorrow. So it's like, all right, awesome. Thank you. Like, go call my parents, do that whole thing. But like, it wasn't like a cool call up story. Like, guys were congratulating me as I came out of the office because they had saw him come in and like pull me in. But it wasn't anything like planned or thought out. Gotcha. And that's probably too, because like for him, it's like, I just got a call from our general manager. Like, we need this guy here for tomorrow. Like, there's no time, it's not like hey, like we're calling up Dini, not because of a circumstance, but because he's going, you know what I mean? It was like, hey, we got an injury. We need you here. Like, pack your shit.
It's all business almost.
All business.
Did you, so you met the team in Detroit. Did you stay at Birmingham in that nice ass hotel?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, that was my first experience. That was my first experience. It was in Birmingham. I forget the name of that fucking place, dude, but like my Alyssa was there. Yes, dude.
Townsend Hotel, bro.
The Townsend Hotel. I think I still have the slippers from that room, bro. I took those slippers, the robe.
Friggin' like I got everything. A remote to turn the lights off. I got like I said friggin' like a button. Hey, I need the service. Like it, dude. Oh,
it's incredible, bro. I never forget it. So that was like, obviously, as you progress through the minor leagues, you get better pay, you get better like hotels, you get better food, you get better stadiums, all this stuff. But then you get to the show and it's like, whoa, so this is real, dude. And then the money's real, dude. So like, I remember where I was when I got my first big league paycheck. So I was in Cleveland. I was here. I was at a Starbucks, dude. I was getting my morning latte and I opened up my app and I had a deposit for 20 G's, dude. 20 G's, dude, just for 2 weeks in the show. And I couldn't even believe it, dude. Couldn't even believe it, brother. What was the first like paycheck for you, like, dude? And like, cause I want to bring this up because where we came from, being at Wagner College, like I think it's fucking fire. So it's important almost to have like people know, like, hey, dude, this is possible. This is possible.
100%, man. So dude, it was crazy for me too, bro, because like I never made money. Like I didn't make anything out of the draft. I was a senior signed. I signed for $1,000. Like I remember my first year in rookie ball, I'm sitting next to our second rounder, like literally my like locker mates, right? So we get our signing bonus checks. I open my check. I didn't even make $600, bro. $597 was my first check. I looked to the kid next to me. He opens a check for $350,000.
Oh my
holy shit. That was my kind of like, holy, yo, this is real. Like the money is real here. And so I didn't make anything, bro. Like I came home in off seasons, dude. I worked 40 hours a week on construction sites with my father to make money because I made nothing during the baseball season. I wasn't saving any money. There wasn't free housing at that time. So like half your one whole paycheck went to your rent for an apartment that you're sleeping on a fucking air mattress in the living room with four other guys. You know what I'm saying? So I never made money. I came home, I worked 40 hours a week. I would freaking drive my car like to park and ride. Then I'd get in my dad's car. He would drive into the city, drop me back off at park and ride. I'd have my gym bag. I'd get in my car. I'd go to the gym, work out, get home at friggin' 9:30, 10 o'clock at night and do that shit every day, up at 4:30, out the door by 5. So I never made money. Then I get to the big leagues and I get a check. My first check was a little shy of, my first check was a half check because when I got called up, I got called up in the middle of the pay period. My second full check was just shy of 25,000. And I thought I was rich, bro. Rich. Yeah, I mean, I was like, holy shit. And I got called up in August. And like the way it was, like the kid was hurt and he wasn't going to be back with the oblique. And there were still 40 man rosters with September call up. So I was like, I'm probably going to be here for the rest of the year. And I got 2 months of this shit. Like, dude, it was amazing. It really, dude, for me, it was like a weight off my shoulders because like at that moment I could be like, man, it all feels worth it at this point because up to that point when you're not making anything, dude, it's like, am I in this place where I'm like kind of wasting my time? And now next thing you know, I look up, I'm 27 years old. I got $5,000 in my checking account and I don't have a career. I got to start my career at 27 where like I got buddies that own homes and, you know, are engaged and like I'm single and I got no friggin' money. I'm going home living with my parents in off season. So like that moment, it was more than like just seeing the 25, which made me like, as you can imagine. But for me, it was also like a moment where I like step back and I'm like, man, like all that shit that we talked about, like it was worth it. And that like right then and there, it was worth it. And you know, even for other reasons that like, if I didn't play another day in the big leagues, like I knew going forward playing, if I was going to be a minor league baseball player, I was not going to play for peanuts anymore. Like I was able to sign, you know, these contracts where you can actually, you made a good living doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Straight, brother. Damn straight. It changes everything. It changes
everything. It changes everything, bro. Like your opportunities like your leash gets a little longer like that. You know, he has major league service that looks appetizing to a lot of other teams that, you know, might be in the market for a catcher. So it changes a lot more than just, you know, hey, I'm in the major leagues or I got this money. It makes things a little bit easier going forward. So that was really,
dude. Like, and the money's crazier now. The money's even crazier now, but it's cool to say like, hey, I was a little Northeast baseball player. I had to overcome all of these odds, prove it year after year, and the shit is real. I cleared 25 Gs, just shy of 25 Gs in the show for 2 weeks of playing. You know what I mean? Like it validates it, bro. It
Validates,
makes it
exactly.
mind blowing.
It validated a life's work, like all the shit that you sacrifice and everything you put into it. It validates it all. So
100%.
And that's the thing, man. Like now that I'm done playing, I sit here. Like, are there days I wake up and I'm like, fuck, man, I feel like I left some meat on the bone. Yeah. But then there's days and like you quickly turn that switch to like, dude, how can you, like, you played in the big leagues, man. Like I got friggin', I just moved, so I didn't hang any of this stuff up. But man, you got a friggin' lineup card with your name on it in the big leagues. You got a friggin' home run ball at 10 yards. You got, you know, a base from Comerica, like for your first major league hit. And then it just quickly switches to, man, how fucking grateful I am that like I'm able to do that. And now in a place where I can like share that experience and kind of really let people know how obtainable it really is, man. You know, and I thought about this before we were getting on this call, right? Was like when we were younger, social media really wasn't popular. So like you didn't really get to have the access that you get to have to these players that you do today, right?
100%.
So like I always like looked at these people like they were not fucking real. Like it was, oh my God, like they were friggin' teleported into Yankee Stadium and then they would friggin' get teleported out there and then just show right back up there at 7 p.m. the next day. Like I didn't think they were real people.
Yeah.
And now it's like you start to gain access to them and you see, man, they do the same things that you do in high school, just in a bigger stadium with more people and more pressure.
No kidding.
It's so attainable. So being able to, and what you're doing too, right? Like giving guys the information, telling guys like, hey, like if you are pissed about where you are, you're not getting or what you feel you're getting, like, so fucking what, work hard, like all those messages, and like being able to like understand that like nobody's path is the same, that it's obtainable as long as you really separate yourself in terms of what you're willing to put into this thing.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
100%. I love all that. We got a comment here in the chat, dude. Said, "Keep at it, Coach Dini. The grind is real." So that is from Z Penley, 2025.
Zach Penley, yeah, yep.
Yeah,
Catcher.
we got Penley in here, dude. That's awesome, man. I love all that, dude. So obviously you get to live out the lifelong childhood dream. It gets validated. It got validated for me when you see, you know, a comma in your checking account, right? You get paid what you thought you've been owed, right? What you deserve, dude. It's all amazing. At some point, it's crazy to say this, at some point, all of us baseball players, all of us athletes have something in common. We are going to fucking take our jerseys off for the last time, whether that is on our account or it's because we either got cut or released or the season's over and that's it. We don't get, like, at some point, everybody's career is going to end, dude. And it's going to be for a plethora of reasons, whether that is outside of our control or it's something that we did. Like, dude, now that you are done playing, now that I'm done playing, I've separated kind of from the game for a year and a half. I'm back in just when I thought I was out. They bring me back in. So now I'm here, right? But I'm able to kind of look at it from a different lens. And I'm like, dude, why am I out of baseball? And it's like, dude, being consistent with the bat was something that like I struggled with, bro, because as you know, once you get to AA, dude, fucking ground balls to the shortstops are out. Doesn't matter if you run a 6.2 or a 3.7 down the line, like that's an out, right? Like those major league shortstops and top prospect shortstops, those are outs, dude. So I struggle with the bat. That's why I'm up out of baseball, dude. Looking back on kind of your career, the success you've had, why would you say that you aren't playing baseball anymore?
For me, I would say, so I kind of got a late start to catching, right? I came up as an infielder. So I was like into pro ball. Like, dude, the fastest pitch that I had seen at Wagner College was Nolan Long, who probably at Wagner was 91, 92, right? And I get to pro ball, and I am so far behind the eight ball from a defensive standpoint, like so damn far. I was fortunate enough that I hit enough
Mm,
in my career early that like I hung around. I hung around. And then it kind of gave me time to catch up behind the plate. And I think I just think there wasn't like by the time I would say I figured it out behind the plate, it was too late. Like I was 29, 30, and at that point I was a depth option for teams in AAA.
I
And
got you.
I called myself a jick, like just in case. Like just in case somebody gets hurt, we're gonna employ you. We think you're good enough to be in the major leagues or in professional baseball, but we don't think you're that good enough to like just be in Major League Baseball.
Be
You
the
know what I'm
dude.
saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
exactly. So and that awarded me more time, man. I look back and it's like I played 9 years. But I would say defensively, I just wasn't, especially early. It was I didn't receive the ball well. And that's why I really like for me, that's why I think I coached the catching position well was because and dude, you know, man, like I don't know about your personal situation, but like for me, like I said, I was a fourth round senior sign. Like I didn't really have coaches like that were prioritizing. It was kind of just like, hey, go play. There's not really much invested into my
Yeah, dude.
development as a player. So like I kind of had to, especially early in my career before I started, like got to when we were in AA in 2017, like that's kind of when things changed. But like I had to figure shit out on my own. So I was constantly watching the best guys. I was like picking up little nuanced things that I could try to apply to my game. So that's why I think like from the coaching side, I can teach the catching position because I myself struggled with it
Mm,
for 4 or 5 years of my career, which held me back because the bat was there. Like I think I hit 300 for my first like 4 years in pro ball. And then yeah, it might have been five for 5 seasons.
that's
Hit
wild.
300 at every level. Hit 300 except the big leagues, obviously. But so that awarded me time to like kind of figure it out. But like
Yeah.
I think and you know how it is too, bro. You get labeled in this game, like you get fucking labeled. Like it was like, hey, like bat first catcher, not much with the glove.
Dude, and
And
it's tough to get out of that label, bro. That
it's
label
really
fucking
tough.
follows you around.
It follows you, bro. And it even followed me when like at like towards the end of my career, I probably put up better defensive numbers than offensive, and it was still like, hey, you're an offensive catcher. It's like, but my defensive numbers have improved, like,
Yeah,
and I'm
dude.
actually like at like receiving the baseball at an above average level, but like it was hard to break that stigma that like I created for myself, like in all honesty, because I wasn't there defensively.
I get
So
it. I get it, brother. I
that's
get
it.
it, dude. I got another comment here in the chat, dude. It's brick wall baseball. He said, "Don't let him fool you. The only reason I got the catch in high school was because he got hurt." Saying you're nasty catching wise. You're not giving yourself as much credit, right? Behind the dish, dude. So again, we got Nick Dini here, man. Ex catcher with the Royals. Awesome story from Wagner College. Nick, I hit you with like two more questions, man. I know you got a family. I hear my daughter crying downstairs too. Hopefully you can't hear that, dude. But looking back, dude, looking back, obviously you've had, trials and tribulations, stuff that you've overcame, stuff that you've succeeded on and have accomplished. You got to the big leagues, dude. What has been, looking back, the most embarrassing moment of your career, bro? I'll start off, dude. I'll start off if you don't mind, dude. So
Please.
I'm playing in Tempe, Arizona, right? We're playing the Angels, the minor, or no, this is a big league spring training game, and we're playing at the Angels, right, in Tempe at their spring training field. Like Mike Trout, all those motherfuckers were there, right? And then when they start coming off the field, that's when the jigs come in, the just in case guys. Like they come in off the bench. That's where a dude like me comes in. And I remember I'm playing left field, dude, and I got a one hop line drive down the line There was a man on second, and he was going home, dude. And I went to go throw like to the cutoff man. That was like, okay, so I field this one hop line drive down the line. Think about where this is. So I'm down the left field line, and the cutoff man is lined up in between the foul line and the pitcher's mound, right? So we're kind of in line with home plate. And dude,
Yeah.
I fucking throw a cutter that
I
starts
was gonna
like,
say, did you throw the Miller cutter?
dude, that started like right on the line and ended going up over his head, over the mound. I sailed him and it went out of play and trickled into their dugout, bro. And so it was a 3-base like down the line single that I went back on it and tried to fucking throw him out at home. Dude, this was like, I think I was in like AA at the time. Like, what are we doing, dude? So I got labeled, I think it was 2015 or 16. Like, I got labeled as the dude that has no fucking clue on defense, doesn't know what he's doing, doesn't know what base to throw to, doesn't have like the arm that can pull it off, has no idea, dude. And so it literally took me like 2 or 3 years of playing defense with intent, dude, and like trying to get out of that stigma to where I think I finally got out of it, and that's where I got a chance in the big leagues, dude. So that's, I wanted to fucking ask you that, bro, because that was the biggest embarrassing moment of my career.
Let me ask you this, Mills, like just to kind of go off that, if you don't mind, like, do you think for you it was like, because I remember watching you, bro, and like the speed, just pure fucking speed was just like something, especially like early, like in college, that like you don't see. It was like, holy shit. Like, do you think for you, like on the defensive side of the ball, it was just like relying so heavily on just like going to get it that like you didn't really like, dude, you know how nuanced like playing at the next level is. It's so much more than just athleticism and skill. It's like taking correct angles, like alignment and like understanding where this ball needs to go. So like for you, do you think it was just like relying on that pure athleticism that it's like, I'm going to get by, I'm going to just worry about hitting, and I'm just going to go out and play defense, run, go get it and get the ball in?
Yeah, bro. So that's where it started, right? So it was like I could get to a certain point based off of just the speed and like athleticism, athletic ability. And then it's like, oh shit, dude, now you need to learn the position and learn the why behind it. So where I struggled is the why. So if there was a man on second base for me, no matter the situation, no matter how many outs there were, no matter if we were in the first inning or the ninth inning, there was a slow ground ball or fast ground ball up the middle, I'm coming up fucking firing, going to home. And like, that's just how it was. And so I never had like a pre-pitch, okay, the ball's hit to me, where am I going with this? Why am I going there? Why am I trying to keep him off second base? Like, why am I not throwing home and letting him advance? You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
Dude, I had to learn that. And so it's tough when you're, 25, 26, 24, like trying to knock on the door and you got prospects and shit around you. And like, the big league team isn't doing that well. And there's people that are expendable. So it's like, you got to show up and show out. Dude, it was me like mentally being able to know the why behind it and being prepared, bro. I think that's what fucking, that's probably what held me back.
That goes to the point that we were talking about of like winning not really mattering, right? Because there is a certain point where it's like, especially as a center fielder, you don't know how many opportunities you're getting during a game to really show like the physical attributes that you have. Bro. So like you get opportunity, it's like, yo, I'm going to let this eat. Like, I'm going to show them, like, I could throw the fucking piss out of the ball. I don't give a shit if a guy advances. It's like, yo, I just threw a dart and, the guy's safe at home. That guy took second, but like, you saw the arm strength, right? So it's
100%,
like,
dude.
That like fine line of like, yeah, I got to play the game, but I also have to like show my skill set in game. Not even just for the Seattle Mariners. Yeah. For the Minnesota Twins, for the fucking New York Yankees, like whatever team it is. There's scouts at every one of those AA games and those AAA games that you're playing in. So like, and that's the part that you got to battle. But then, like you said, you get older and you realize like what you got to do, what matters. And that's the same thing with me defensively, man. But as far as like most embarrassing story, it's not as much like physical something that I did. I mean, dude, I made a shit ton of throwing errors that were just horrible throws. Nothing crazy that like, to where it really stands out. But I remember like in AA in 2018, like the national anthem's going on and we're the home team. So I'm in all whites and halfway I just shit my pants.
No.
And I like the umpires like look over at me and like and I'm like, yo, I just shit. And in the Texas League, it's the same crew. So like I've had them for 2 years. Like they know me. They're like, yo, the fuck? Did you just shit I'm like, I just shit my pants, dude. And it's like at that point the game's about to start. I caught the first inning with shit in my pants. I'm hitting third that inning. So after the inning's over, I busted into the clubhouse and I'm telling guys, I'm like, yo, need you to take one. Need you to take one. I
take a pitch.
It's like I need you to take a pitch. So I like, dude, I gotta go in there. I gotta wipe my ass. Then I gotta change my sliders. Now, mind you, I got all my catcher's gear on, so I'm freaking undressing my gear. I'm taking my cleats off. I'm fucking like in full panic mode. I get out there. It's like I go right from changing my sliders to like the batter's box, and
were you bleeding like, through? Me, was there any visible evidence?
Oh, dude, visible evidence. Like it was there. It looked like it honestly looked like I could have had dirt, like, but
it wasn't. It was not. It was fecal matter. Yeah, it was fecal matter, bro. That sucks, dude. That's also that's hilarious, bro. That's amazing. I love it, dude. So last question I got for you, bro. So this is the 9-Hole podcast. Man, we're just I'm highlighting, showcasing underdog stories, the fucking grind, right? Just having grit, dude. When you're in the coaching game now, right? You're helping, you're giving back, dude, giving time, giving your expertise, bro. What makes a valuable 9-hole hitter? So like in your lineup, dude, what do you want your 9-hole hitter to be able to do? What makes a good 9-hole hitter? Like what kind of traits or characteristics or like capabilities?
Yeah. So I'm currently like working. I'm helping out at a high school in Edison. I'm coaching over there, and St. Thomas Aquinas, and the boys are rolling. And just for instance, like we got this kid. The first thing I say all the time is like, I think it's like the most important thing for a player is to like actually sit down and like let them understand what kind of player you are, right? So like what kids don't understand because they see like the major league game being played and it's like, it's all predicated on home runs, right? Like power, slug, OPS, whatever stat you want to look at that measures somebody's like production, right? But every good lineup has you're either a run scorer or you're a run producer, right? So if you're that run scorer guy that you were, right, and you're trying to sacrifice what you do well so that you can go from hitting 1 home run a year to 3 home runs a year, but you're sacrificing 25 hits a year, 50 points on your batting average. If you're doing that, you got to change what you're doing. So as far as a 9-hole hitter, dude, I want somebody that is the hardest, fucking grittiest out. That when a pitcher or a coach or a pitching coach is like going through a lineup and he cannot circle you and be like, all right, this is a guy we're getting out. Like you might fall behind 0-2, you might eventually get out, but you know what? You're not going to go down easy. You're going to fight. You're going to foul shit off. You're going to be a pesky hitter. You're going to do the little things right. You're going to advance runners when runners need to be advanced. You're going to play the game. The game is going to tell you what it calls for, right? Like in this situation, I need to advance this runner from second to third with nobody out, right? So I understand as a pitching, like from the pitching side, they're going to try to bust me in, or they're probably going to throw some slop away that they're going to try to get me to roll over to hold that runner on second. So like you need to have a really good mindset and plan and approach in place as to how you are going to attack each at bat. But as far as like you move runners, you bunt guys over, you fucking, when the infield is drawn back, you're putting balls in play, you're being a tough out, you're seeing pitches, you're an extension of the leadoff hitter. Like we want to flip the order to the top of the order and get shit rolling, and just being able to play the game and do those things right from an offensive standpoint, and then play good defense. You know what I mean? Like just and understand that you're probably not in the 9-hole because your coach expects you to like backside homers and friggin' pull. Like that's not what's expected of you. And a lot of times you just see guys getting out of what they do well to try to do more and think that that's how I'm going to get in the order because I need to hit home runs. I need to hit doubles. No, you don't. You're a run scorer. You're not a run producer. You get on base and you score runs is as valuable as the guy that is driving you in.
I love that.
So
brother.
I think
Same.
for
I
kids
feel
to
that
be
way.
able to like, I think for kids just being able to like understand strengths, what they're good at, and really just like go ahead, dive head first into being that guy. Like, don't get off of that. Like, be that guy. Be the guy that, you know what, I might fall behind 0-2 and I might punch out at the end of this at bat, but it's going to take you 3, 4, 5 more pitches in order to do so.
100%.
Like that shit matters, right? Like you grind out at bats and you run up pitch counts. So now you got to go to a bullpen a little bit earlier. Like all those things matter. Where for kids, it's hard to realize that because all it's about is like, did I get a hit or not?
For sure.
You know what I mean? But
For
like,
sure, brother.
when you look at the big picture, man, it all matters. It all matters.
I love that, dude. We got another comment in the chat from Max. I have a feeling that may be from Schmert. Happy Fat Dick Friday, fellas. Thank you, Max. Appreciate you, brother. Deans, that's all the questions that I have for you, bro. Appreciate your time, dude. Thank you for running us through the journey, dude. Hitting up all the questions, man. I appreciate everybody being here, leaving comments, man. Deans, man, thank you, dude. We look forward to kind of seeing you keep going. You got the catching page now. You kind of detailing the lessons
at
and
the
the
NJ
stuff.
catching guy. Go follow if you're a catcher out there or just a baseball guy. And I like to post just like things I see throughout, major league games or the college game, and kind of just like give some insight. That's why I like what's great about catching, dude. Like this will be really quick, but I was lucky enough to be on both sides of it, right? Like I'm in hitters meetings, I'm also in pitchers meetings. I'm like talking and engaging with pitchers and pitching coaches, and then I obviously all the stuff from the offensive side of the ball. So like I like to think I have a unique perspective as like from the like of the game as a whole. So check it out if you guys just need baseball content. I'm gonna start getting into some hitting stuff. I just kind of wanted to. Catching is my passion because I fucking sucked at it for a couple of years. So
I love it. I love it. Well, we'll get you back on here, brother. We'll incorporate you kind of into the we'll get going on kind of what the 9-hole is about, man. Try to get you acclimated and kind of in there, dude. Because I love the message, bro. Obviously, like the grind, dude, the journey, the accomplishments, man. It's awesome. It's inspirational, dude. And man, thank you for being here, brother. Appreciate you, dude.
Thanks for having me, Mills. Good seeing you, brother. All right, keep doing it, man. This is you're helping a lot of kids, bro.
Likewise, dude. I appreciate you. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Have a great weekend and get your taxes done. All right, goodbye.